fun fact, people that work for, like, call centers, guess where they live?
Poland Spring?
What?
I don't know.
Nebraska, because Nebraskans have no accent. It's the least amount of accent in the United States.
Really?
Yep.
So there's a. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why it's a fun fact.
I don't know if it's Nebraska, but I know that there's a thing with meteorologists. When meteorologists go and reporters, when they go through school, they mimic a Midwestern accent because the same exact idea. It's like they can then go and work anywhere in the country and they don't have like an accent.
Yeah, that's why Midwest is the best.
Yeah, but think about it. Any accent in this country. I mean, is it really that hard to understand? Don't think about it.
Am I going to get in trouble for throwing the gum in the grass?
No. No, you'll be
Yes,
fine.
Pete, you
I'll say it was me. Don't worry about it.
All right, should we get rolling?
Are we doing an intro? Or are we doing?
Yeah.
Is this the type of podcast where we just roll into it?
No, we can roll
wanna
in,
do
but
the
like
intro?
on the back end we can roll into it. But I think we should have an intro just in case.
Is this the first episode, or are we leaving it open-ended?
Oh, come on. Don't do that shit. All this time. Oh, it's going to be the first episode. It's going to be the first episode. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Maybe like once every 2 minutes, but like not more than that.
We'll give you a 10.
Okay.
A 10-word quota.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the first ever episode of Behind the Ridge, brought to you by Rhoback Media. First episode here, we introduce the one, the only.
Will Lawler, thank you guys. I'm here. This is my first time on pod too. So,
Yeah.
I just realized I paused for the camera, but
yeah,
as Nikki was looking around. But
no,
without
seriously.
further ado, Nick Cass,
Nick Cassano, Nikki Meets.
Nicky Meets.
Which one is it? Nicholas?
It depends on the day.
Yeah. Well,
Depends
today's
on how I'm
Tuesday,
feeling.
so
Today's Tuesday. Oh, let's go with Nikki Meets today.
okay.
Yeah.
Does the month matter?
No, not particularly. Not
Okay,
particularly.
so
It used to, but I've kind of gotten over that.
you grew out of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I became a man.
Yeah, I remember that when that happened to me.
Yeah, just recently.
All right, we're gonna take a little dive
Uh-oh.
into the Twitter history of Nick Cassano, Nicky Cass. Not that we stalked you or anything, but we might have. And we have a few tweets just to run by you, and just a few follow-up questions.
Yeah.
To
God, I probably said some dumb.
no,
dumb things.
it's great. So first one, I'm just gonna read the tweet.
Okay.
If you don't get okay, I'm gonna try to read the tweet without laughing. This will actually be pretty impressive. If you don't give grapes a little squeeze job before you bite it, you're a maniac. It takes a special breed to just take a grape off the vine and pop it into your mouth with no speculation of the crunch. 1, great point. 2, what are other things you give a little squeeze job to before you eat?
Okay. 1, I'm happy that you agree because it's the truth. You got to give them a little squeeze job. And 2, I give a hard-boiled egg a squeeze job before I eat it. I don't know why. I know what it's going to feel like, but I squeeze a hard-boiled egg before I eat it, and a dumpling. And like a steam dumpling.
Well, the egg makes sense because what if it's not hard boiled? Then you just
Right. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying it's already peeled. You know it's a hard-boiled egg.
Oh, it's already peeled
Before
too.
I put it in my mouth, I do like one of these.
Okay. I got one.
Okay.
You peel the tangerine, you rip it apart,
Oh,
you give it a
yes,
little squeeze
yes.
job, you see the juices move.
Yep. Yes.
And then you
yes,
pop it in your mouth.
Yes, absolutely. I'm guilty.
Oh, I'm
Oh, guilty of that.
guilty as charged.
I think you had brought up when we were talking about this, like an apple.
An apple,
Like
100%.
Check
Who
out
likes
for
a
soft
mush?
apple?
Who likes a mushy
soft
apple?
spots.
True.
Check for
Or
soft spots.
nectarine.
I'm not a big nectarine guy, so I can't.
Oh,
comment
you got to
on
get on
that.
the wave. Got to get on the wave.
Sorry.
Yeah.
More of a tangerine guy.
Right.
I only do so much eans.
Eans. Yeah. You got to keep the eans at a minimum.
You do the next one.
Yeah, all right. That was a good one. I thought that one's funny. This is one I did not know, so we'll see if you have found out since you last tweeted this. Does anyone really know what the fuck eggnog is made out of, or am I just an ass? 1, yes, you are just an ass, and 2, I still don't know, but I looked it up, so I can give you the answer. If you
Okay.
Yeah,
No
I still don't
no
know.
idea.
I don't know.
All right, do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. Eggnog is made of eggs, egg yolk,
Oh, wow.
heavy cream, sugar, vanilla extract, and milk. Follow-up
wow.
question. What is the difference between vanilla and vanilla extract?
I feel like vanilla is the stalk. I feel like vanilla is a stalk, and vanilla extract is the what's. I'm not going to say the word. I'm not going to say extracted. The vanilla is what is seeped out and juiced from the vanilla stalk.
I have no clue, but
I don't know either.
That's a really solid
logical
guess.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a very
That was
solid
well thought
guess,
out.
I think.
I was impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I didn't know. All right, next one. There ain't nothing I love more in this world than cracking an egg in a hot pan. There's just something about it that really scratches my ass. There's just some things in life I'll never get sick of, and cracking an egg is one of them. God bless. So, as a follow-up.
I love the God bless.
I put God bless at the end of that.
As a follow-up, what are other things that just scratch your ass?
I love hitting a nice 3-wood shot off the tee box into the fairway. That really scratches my ass.
Definitely not a driver shot.
No,
No, I would never dare do that with a driver.
Yeah, are you kidding? I also really like. I also like when you fill up a measuring cup and it doesn't go over the desired amount you would like, and you just hit the line and you don't get down low. You just kind of eyeball it like this, and then you see it, and then you're like, all right, I'm done, and it's like around the line you want it perfectly, like a half a cup, perfect.
You know it's gonna
that
be a great
scratches
meal.
the hell out of my ass. And then I got to be honest, when I'm shaving and I put the shaving cream on and I get one clean swipe and the line is perfect like this, talk about getting your ass scratched. That is unbelievable. That's a great feeling. And then I love a nice, tightly tucked bed, like bed sheet, like a nicely tucked, like comforter piece or bed sheet. Like when you look at the bed, it looks like Restoration Hardware just put the thing in your room. That scratches my ass.
How often does that happen? Do you make your bed?
Low. The few times I do make my bed, it happens maybe 1 out of every 3 times. When she makes a bed, it's every time.
The reason I ask is because I actually had the exact same answer. I love a perfectly made bed.
Really?
I can count on one hand the number of times I've made my bed. But I think that's why I like it, because it's such a rare occasion.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
like when it finally
It
does
looks
happen.
so much cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you untuck and you get in, you're like, man, it's going to be a great sleep.
Yeah.
But along the shaving, it really scratches my ass. Like, really scratches my ass. When you get in a haircut and they're cleaning your neckline.
Yes.
And
it tickles a little bit. Oh.
With the flat blade.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh
Straight
my
up.
God, with the flat blade and the hot shit.
You want to talk scratching ass.
Oh, you want to talk about one of the best scratches of the ass. That is definitely one of them. Oh, it's like this weird tingly feeling. It starts at the top of your back, and then it trickles down your spine. Oh, my God. That thing, I wish I could feel that 24/7. Like, and you do like one of these.
I would get a haircut every day.
Every day,
Yeah.
if they weren't $45.
Yeah, and if my hair grew back that fast. Like,
Right.
Yeah. My last one is, and something I've developed into, I've grown into, is when I get to go back home for the 2-3 times a year, and I get to have my mom's food.
Oh, wow.
Homemade food
That scratches
is
your ass.
just...
What would be like
Yeah, it's a good
the
one.
meal you're looking forward to the most when you go
Great
home?
cue. Great cue.
It's a great question. I hope my family listens to this because they will totally understand. Mrs. Potter's Chicken. Our neighbor, before I was even born...
Shout out, Miss Potter.
Yeah, shout out Mrs. Potter. My neighbor, before I was even born, passed along this recipe, and it's just been a family staple ever since. And it's basically... It's kind of like a chicken parm, I guess, but it's Ritz crackers as the breading. Like crushed up Ritz crackers. And my mom does the best job, and we always have that when I go home. So
Dad.
Mrs. Potter's Chicken really scratches my ass.
Yeah, yeah, and it sounds like it would scratch my ass too. I mean, all the Italians watching this, I know you don't want to hear that, but that sounds good.
All right,
Nick, for those who don't know you, how would you describe yourself, what you do?
Kind of like a Swiss Army knife. Ever see a Swiss Army knife? You got the knife, you got the scissors, you got the screwdriver. I do a lot of comedy style stuff on Instagram. I make fun of my dad. I make fun of the Italians. I do like comedy skits. I've created a few characters. Basically, I just like to create, and then I take my creations and I throw them out on the internet. And at some point, they started hitting off, and I make a bunch of content on the internet. I do Nikki Motivations. I don't know when this is going to air, but we started a foundation, the Kimpact Foundation charity. I just like to have my hand in a bunch of different things.
Nice. How did you first get started with doing everything?
So I've always been like the funny guy in the friend group, and like played baseball my whole life. And on the bus rides, I'd like want to make people laugh. I'd do whatever it took. I always said I've never met someone I wasn't able to make laugh. And like for me, like it was a goal. Like if I was meeting for the first time, I'm huge on first impressions. Like I wanted to make sure that I had you in stitches like within the first 5 minutes. So always found it fun to make someone laugh. It was a passion of mine. And I would post like little things on Snapchat. I'd make like at-home videos. I'd edit them on iMovie. I would never put them anywhere, but just like for me, I thought it was interesting. And played baseball in college. Sophomore year, I stopped playing baseball. I was working in a gym. I was training clients. I had like 10 clients a week at the time. I was working downstairs in the athlete-specific gym of the school I was going to. And this is right around the time where TikTok was coming out. And my friends are like, dude, like, you got to get on the app. Like, get on the app. Like, make a couple videos. I think you do great. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want to do that. Like, that's when Charlie D'Amelio was, like, doing all this shit. And so I'm like, I just don't want to be involved in that. So I never forget. It was a Wednesday night. It was 7:52 p.m. And I'm closing up the gym. And gym closes at 8. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't say another curse for another 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, F
it's
it.
actually 2 and within 2 minutes.
You're right.
Slide.
You're right. So I downloaded the app and I made like a quick 30-second video. It was Italian dads when you say you're gonna go out, and it was like basis was like kid walks in, hey dad, like I'm going out, and the dad is like, what do you mean you going out? It's 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. What you doing out? Like whatever. Thought it was funny. I posted it, put my phone in my pocket. Didn't look at it again. Next morning, I wake up, go to the bathroom, whip out my phone. Things got like 2 million views. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Like, I'm like calling my dad, everyone in my family. Long story short, the pandemic hit, and I just was bored at the house, and so I just continued to make a video every single day. And, consistency and commitment, 2 years later, it's turned into this unbelievable experience. Like every day I got to pinch myself. I'm like, I can't believe this is like my life.
That's amazing. I think the growth has been just incredible, and the fact that there was such a overnight success is incredible.
Yeah.
Right? That part is so cool. It reminds me of, I've heard stories like that before, but it's like I watched a video of Post Malone, and he did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm just gonna put out White Iverson on SoundCloud. Went to bed, woke up, and he had texts from like all these random rappers like Kendrick and like and he's like, oh my god, like my life's changed.
Yeah.
Like this
it's
is
unbelievable.
insane. So to hear that, I think one is really cool. So congrats.
Thank you very
That's
much.
amazing. But two, I think the other cool part is it wasn't like a lifelong goal of yours.
Never.
Right? Like you didn't,
dude,
like,
I wanted to open
grow
up a gym.
You didn't grow up being like, this is what I'm going to do. So what did you grow up wanting to do?
Oh, I wanted to be a professional baseball player. That was like my dream in life. And I remember like having conversations with my dad, just like crying to him, like, Dad, like I want to get drafted. I'm gonna go to the big league. Like really like try to manifest this thing. Like I would be at the field all hours of the day. Like my homecoming senior year, I didn't go to the dance. I called my baseball coach, begged him to call the town to turn the lights on so I could hit while everyone was out like at the dance and whatnot. So my whole dream was to be a professional baseball player to any capacity, like whether it was overseas or whatnot. And I got to college and I just hated the game. Like you couldn't pay me to put on baseball pants. It just was a very I did a 180. But that was the dream, which then transitioned into, okay, well, if I'm not going to be a pro ball player, I'm going to open up a gym. I love taking care of my body. I love craving activity. I love getting after it and getting outside.
Nice.
You like how I did that? Nice. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to be a personal trainer. I'm going to open up a gym. And that was pretty much it. Like, it was never, listen, I thought about, like, what if I was an entertainer of some sort? Like, what if I was on YouTube? Like, what if I did stand-up? But it was never, like, it was never a dream or a vision or a goal. It was always just like something I was naturally, I guess, talented at, or what so people think.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, like, I mean, like, you're a very humble guy. That's something that, like, I think too, like,
Appreciate it.
I think probably that might not
Easy there, Pete.
people like look at your content, and maybe that might not be the first thing, just because of how like out there that
Oh,
are. Like,
100%.
you put yourself out there without any type
yeah.
of knowing like how humble you are. Did any part of you though that night when you put that video out, when you were like reviewing it and looking at that first video, did you think like, yeah, this has got a shot? Like, do you really just do it for yourself?
Oh, 100%. This is going to sound really bad after you just said I was humble. I think I'm friggin' hysterical. Like, I legitimately watch my own videos and pee myself laughing. Like just the other day when I made the mic'd up NFL hits, I watched that thing 100 times before I posted.
That was good.
I was like, Nick, you are a genius, bro. But
that's confidence.
Yes, I will never ever tell that to somebody and like actually mean it and try to get a one up. Like, no. But that night where I did post that video, I will definitely say I didn't think it was gonna blow up, but I knew that it was good. Like, I knew that I had, even though I didn't realize it at the time, like I knew that there was something there for sure. Because I always used to preach, like, and I still do, like, if you enjoy the content, if you laugh at it, chances are someone else is going to laugh at it too. And I genuinely thought that my videos were funny. And I still do now. But it was never like, oh, this is gonna smack, right, bro. This thing, oh, check that out. No, I was never like that. I did it for pure selfish reasons, so I could laugh for and just like send it to my friends. Yep, absolutely.
So then it does blow up.
Yeah.
You do have that success. You follow it up with, other videos.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps going, but you're a student. You're in college.
Dude.
So tell us about, like, your senior year, and even before that. But then,
yeah, I was doing it junior year, too.
And then going back to senior year,
yeah,
that whole year, how you were able to still be pumping out this content while being a student, while being a friend, while being,
And what was going through your head? Like,
oh, yeah. It was extremely uncomfortable, extremely scary. But I knew that, and I'm talking senior year of college. Junior year, I wasn't as all in on it because I didn't really see the effect it had junior year. Junior year was more of like, oh, you can make some money doing this, but it wasn't like this is what I'm doing. But senior year, it was extremely scary. But I made the conscious decision with myself, where I realized that what I was doing and what I was putting out is bigger than me, and it don't really matter if I'm scared, because there's people who are literally waiting for me to post something or waiting to get a laugh from what I'm putting out. So I'm just gonna figure it out. And like with school, I mean, I was taking 18 credits. I was living in an apartment with four dudes. I was doing a podcast. I was trying to post a video a day. I had contracts that needed to be fulfilled. Like, there's no such thing as balance. I don't believe that there's balance. I feel like you just figure it out. Like, you feel like, okay, this is what needs to get done. It's going to get done. Don't matter how it gets done, but it's going to get done. And, like, definitely made mistakes. The whole month of October 2022, I felt like I was awake. Like, I didn't feel like I slept. But, again, when you realize that it's bigger than you, it doesn't matter how you feel sometimes, and that's the reality of it. But that's the decision that I made, and that's the consequences I got to deal with. But it was for sure scary, and for sure a lot.
I think on that like same kind of topic, you mentioned a lot of, I think, different pieces to this question, but getting through that, the beginning of like this wave that you're on.
Hell yeah.
What's been your why? Have you had like one consistent why?
Absolutely.
The entire time?
I do, like, humbly saying, I do recognize that I have a talent in this, and I do recognize that it actually has an effect on people. And the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And, like, one of my biggest whys is, like, this is making people happy. Like, I'm literally given the opportunity to make someone laugh. When you laugh, you don't think about the negativity going on in your life. You don't think about all the bullshit going on. Like, you're just experiencing joy. And I have the gift to be able to give that to 500,000, 2 million people when you take in all the accounts. Like, I don't need much more of a why than that. Like, the other part of it too, though, is I love to work, like, flat out. Like, I love getting up. I love putting in the time. I love putting in the effort, and I love seeing the results. But the underlying, like, why is literally because I have a gift. I need to use it. Like, that's what it is.
I think the cool part too is that you're able to touch people and bring that happiness and joy that you talk about to people of all different demographics, backgrounds. I vividly remember before we even started working with you, showing my parents one of your videos, and they thought it was hysterical. And my parents are not on social media whatsoever.
That's awesome.
And like, so to see them like smile and laugh because of your videos, and then my younger cousins that are in middle school are cracking up at the same videos and are like,
that's awesome.
Oh my God, Nikki. And like, that's a 45-year age gap. Like, and
it's awesome.
I think that part's so cool. And you bring this joy and happiness and laughter through all these different characters that you've created, right?
Yeah.
So I've been curious ever since we started working with you, and I've seen your videos. Tell us about these characters. Like, what's the background? Who are these people? Because like, someone inspired some of these.
Oh,
so,
100%.
Like, who are these people
100%.
that are now your characters?
Okay, so let's start with the bread and butter. Pasquale, he's honestly he evolved himself. The first video I made with him was like, growing up in an Italian household like my dad. But like 90% of the videos that are like involve that character, my dad is not like that whatsoever. And it just kind of evolved. It started with my dad, but then totally took a life of its own. And now it's like a goofy, like passionate, like father who, I don't know, it's just like a goofball. Like that's the whole Pasquale thing. It kind of took a life of its own. No is based off of, I never met either of my grandfathers, but No is based off of my mom's uncle who is from Italy, who came over here to live the American dream, and he's really just like a goofball. Like he's the best, but like he's also
living the dream.
He's living a dream. He's a little bit of a goofball. Like the whole like, you see the movie Avatar, where did they get these blue people? Like that was like real. Like that was an actual conversation.
I had the same thought.
Yeah, so like the Planet of the Ape, the monkey, I never see. I go to the zoo all of the time, and the monkey not do this. But like that was another real conversation. Paul Montgomery, this is great.
I'm excited for this one.
Paul's
definitely
He's fantastic character.
And
thank you,
in
fellas.
your life.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yes. Thank you, fellas. Paul Montgomery was based off of an umpire I had in high school baseball. And 2 weeks ago, the guy has no clue. This guy has no clue. 2 weeks ago, I'm at the baseball field, and this cop car pulls up because I parked in the wrong spot. He told me to move. And out walks the umpire, who I based Paul Montgomery off of.
He's the cop?
He's a cop. Yeah, he's the cop.
Nice.
The cop gets out of the car. It's Paul Montgomery. The guy's got
That's a
no idea. His name is Mike. I never knew his name was Mike. And I was like, you used to umpire my high school games. He goes, oh, yeah? I said, yeah. Oh, really? Really? You still playing? I said, no, I'm not. He goes, hey, you could come umpire if you want. And I was like, if only you knew, bro. If only you knew. Yeah, Paul was definitely a high school umpire of mine that I had. Rocco, the restaurant owner, was a Greek restaurant owner a restaurant I used to go to. The owner would wear that like silky blue shirt. He would wear like the rings. His hands would shake like right this way, and he'd like point you to your table. The hair was slicked back.
It's all Mediterranean. It's all the same.
And that's the other thing too. Like I feel like I have a very, like for me, I could like analyze and observe people pretty well, and like for whatever reason, it's just always been easy to mimic it, and like to see something in my head and just be able to create it. Like it's almost like a copy and paste. Like it's very, There's no thought that goes involved. I don't second guess. I just like, here it is, bang, bang, bang. Like, I've never written down anything for any of my videos. Like, I literally go out there with the camera, record it. Takes me about 40 minutes to an hour, and that's it. Like, the restaurant owner, like, I remember what the guy looked like, and I was like, this is gonna be him. And it took literally that video took me like 10 minutes to make, and it's nuts.
So who's next? Is there like an Officer Mike coming out? You're just gonna like
No.
directly call out?
No, you see, I like him to just kind of like naturally
like how like
happen.
And does that like do you just kind of do you actively brainstorm and think about those sorts of things, or do you just let it?
No, I've tried. Like, I'll put in my schedule. Like, when I make my schedule the night before, I'll be like, all right, from 8 to 10 it's just gonna be like a creative 2 hours where I'm just gonna think of shit. I don't think of nothing for 2 hours. The second I put it down on paper, I don't think of gots for 2 hours. Like, I'll just sit there. Like, every time I try to force it, it never happens. But if I don't try and force it, it just.
All right, we'll move to fact or fiction. We got a little fact or fiction questions for you.
Oh my God, I love this.
Just test the good old.
I'm gonna go. How many questions are there?
It's all based on meat.
It's all meat. These are meat questions.
I'm gonna go 100%.
And you are Nicky Meat.
So I'm gonna hit
100%.
100%.
If you don't, you.
Yeah, no, I this is legit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you don't, what do you got to do? What's the wager here?
You can't eat meat for 2 weeks.
Hell no.
Fine, 10 days.
All meat,
1 week.
All meat products have to be replaced with plant protein for 1 week.
Lucia's saying 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, no meat.
2 weeks, no meat.
All right, I'm allowed to get one wrong.
No.
Okay.
No misses.
No misses,
No
fine.
misses.
Yeah, pressure's on. Let's go.
You were like, you were
Yeah, let's
really
go.
like, all right.
No, let's
What
go.
kind of
No meat
standard
for
do you
2 weeks. That's fine.
What kind of
Let's
standard
go.
do you set yourself?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, Pete, lead us off.
All right. A pork chop is the same as a lamb chop. Fact or fiction?
That is fiction.
All right, we just wanted to,
Starting off easy.
start it off.
Starting off easy.
Like,
Made you think.
That
Made you think.
was so ridiculous. I thought about that question.
that was
I
the
thought
goal.
about it. Yeah.
That was the goal.
All right, next question. There are roughly 19 billion chickens on our planet.
I've looked this up. That's fact.
Yes, it is. Numbers humans 3 to 1.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it nuts? I think about it all the time when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings or like when I go to eat wings. I'm like, how many fucking chickens you think are in this world?
It's yeah.
Instead of more doors or wheels, there should be like more chickens.
Chickens.
I know, yeah.
And how about that answer I gave about the wheels? Got to be honest. I patted myself on the back.
That
for
was a
one.
good answer.
I'm a wheels guy.
Yeah,
All right. Are you a hot dog guy?
I like a hot dog.
Okay.
I like a good wiener. Ballpark Frank.
Basically, what creates a hot dog is packed together meat trimmings of chicken, beef, and pork.
Yeah, fact.
Fact.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of gross?
Fact. They used to say that it was the shit that was on the floor in the factories
Wouldn't surprise me.
back then.
Who says that?
I learned it in my history class.
That's disgusting.
Gross. I'd still eat it.
Yeah.
A little mustard, ketchup, relish. What are you gonna do?
You get it hot enough, it burns off the bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fact or fiction? Nebraska produces the most steak in the U.S.
Fiction.
Do you know who does?
Uh,
Yes. Now, bonus points. Do you know who?
Yeah, you
produces
can make
most?
up for the one you got wrong.
Yep.
If you
Texas.
Wow. I shouldn't have said that. All right, we're back to even. Wasn't
It's not back to
expecting
even.
that.
Let's go.
All right. Average cow provides about 460 pounds of meat.
Fact.
How do you know that? That was quick. You Googled that one too?
No, I just knew that.
Yeah. You just born
Yeah.
with that knowledge.
Yeah, no, I remember having a conversation about that.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's a ton.
Fact. It's unbelievable.
All right.
An elk, you could feed
406
one
that's-
elk can feed your family for like an entire year.
That is an
crazy.
average.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
So an average cow weighs about
Same as
1,200 pounds.
1,200 pounds. Yeah.
So that's 40% of the cow
Yeah.
is steak.
Yeah. It's unreal.
It's crazy.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. No wonder we love cows.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. Mate. Yeah.
Fact or fiction? The most popular day for people to eat meat is July 4th.
Fact.
Fiction.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. It's a holiday. If you had to guess, what do you think?
Easter.
I like that guess. It's Memorial Day. Yeah.
According to our sources.
According to our sources, it's Memorial
According
Day.
to our
Oh my
sources.
gosh.
Thanksgiving's a great
I
guess.
didn't even think about Tom the Turkey.
I think I don't know because like Thanksgiving, so many people gather, but I guess it's the same.
Nobody
for
eats
Memorial
that
Day.
turkey. I don't care what you do to the turkey. It's the driest thing on the
Yeah,
planet.
no,
Earth.
I agree. I'm not the biggest fan. But yeah, Memorial Day, kickoff of summer.
Okay.
See, and that's the only reason why I think too is like it's a big part.
Imagine if I said fiction Memorial Day. Like, would you shit your pants?
I would have been a
Impressed.
little skeptical that you somehow got your hands on this before. All right, Americans eat the most beef in the world.
Fact.
You think so?
Well,
in the world.
In the world.
fiction. Fiction.
It's
Final
fact,
answer?
Fiction.
Final answer?
Fiction.
Who do you think does?
Russia.
Not even.
No.
No.
Apparently, South America is
South
big
America's-
into meat.
Yeah.
Really?
Argentina,
Texas State,
Brazil,
Brazil.
Uruguay,
Damn.
U.S. is fourth.
Wow. Who's second?
Brazil.
Is that?
Oh no, sorry, Argentina, then Brazil.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Good
I
for
know.
them.
Good for the Argentinians.
Good for them.
Out of chicken, pork, and steak,
Mhm.
what do you think are the top 2 most popular meats in the world to eat?
In the world.
Yeah.
Chicken and pork.
Very good.
Wow.
Very good.
All right, that was impressive.
Thank you.
With the amount of chickens, it's not surprising.
Right.
You've been getting into brisket, right? You and your dad.
Hell yeah.
All right. The proper internal temperature for smoked brisket is what? I'm not even gonna say the number.
200 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh,
Close.
That's close.
195. So I guess that's like depends on your
Yeah.
brisket chef.
We do 200.
That's good.
No wonder it's
good.
dry.
No wonder it's drier than the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Last second submission by Will. Beef-based burgers have less fat and sodium than plant-based burgers. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Yes, and apparently Will's got a caveat here. It says depending on the plant burger. So
Well, it was
give it
like
to
one
you.
of those sites
I
that's
mean,
like.
what the hell kind of question is that? They don't even have a correct answer.
Well, no. I mean,
Oh,
some
man.
plant-based burgers have more sodium and fat, and it was one of those like pro meat sites. So
Right.
it was like
Right.
it depends on the one. There's definitely some.
I
that-
thought I did okay.
No, that was
I'm
pretty
still
good.
gonna go.
That was
I'm
good.
still
Well,
gonna go vegan for 2 weeks.
yeah,
I
that was good.
I
Yeah,
said I will.
Yeah.
all right.
I said I will.
We're
Yeah,
gonna hold-
she'll make sure.
So now that you're out of school,
Yeah.
and you do have this time to like sit down and have these creative brainstorm sessions, because while you were in school, you obviously were jam packed, like you said. You know,
Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
sleep for the entire month of October. But now that you do have, this is your full time
Oh,
profession.
hell yeah.
So walk us through how that's changed. What's your
It's funny. Post college life. I mean, I've been out of college for like 2 months now, and what I thought.
congrats?
Thank you.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you.
What was the degree?
Marketing.
Nice.
Thanks.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, see that?
Mike clap.
Little mic clap. Yeah, like so I've been out of college for 2 months, and when I thought was gonna have like a lot more time, I've been more busy than ever. I feel like, and so much so that, and it's been good. Like moments like these are really good because you get to learn from your mistakes and you get to adjust. Like there would be days where I'd wake up at the crack of dawn, and like I'd still be doing work at like 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. I was kind of just like, all right, I need to set a schedule. So it's like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's just like all work related. And like work could be going to the driving range and like shanking balls. Like it could be editing. It could be thinking of new ideas. What's the next steps? Like it's just a bunch of different stuff. But I love it. Like I don't know what day of the week it is. I have no idea. And I feel like that's a good indication of where I'm at. Like,
Have you found it easier to create with the stress of school done? Or
100%, because regardless of the amount of work physically that I was doing with school, the mental capacity of having to worry about another thing and graduating just consumed me 24/7. Because it's like, if you don't graduate, then you don't get to do what you want to do. So now that I don't even, like, school isn't even a thought, it's just like, oh, this is like, it's just like free reigns. Like, I wouldn't have thought of the mic'd up videos, the restaurant owner. Like I would have never thought of that stuff if I was still in school.
Do you ever rely on people, or not even rely, but do you ever kind of have a brainstorming session with other people, or do you
I do.
take on ideas, or is it kind of simply like this is your thing that you do?
I feel like most creators are very self-conscious about their work. Like I feel like self-conscious is the wrong word, but like this is my work. You know what I mean? And like I don't think it's anyone. Like I don't think anyone's to blame. I just think that's how it is. So not really much on like video specific ideas, but my best friend Perry and I will literally
Shout out Perry.
Yeah, shout out
up?
Perry Quartuccio. Love you,
What
miss
up?
you.
Perry Partucci.
But we would literally. I'm more into like the brainstorming like life and like not advice, but just like things about like where we want to be, what we want to do, who we want to be. Like those conversations I have all the time. We used to dedicate like 3-4 times a week. We'd call it tea time. We'd like sit down for an hour, we'd drink tea, and we'd literally just talk about stuff like that. But it's in terms of like ideas specific, I just let them flow. I don't really talk to anybody about those, but maybe I should. I don't know. I just get uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because like if they say a bad idea,
It's tough, and
I don't want to say. You know.
I think it's also too, from a creative's perspective, like it's also like sometimes it's so hard to translate what you're thinking.
Right.
And it's
100%.
almost like you'd rather look, I'd rather just do it.
Right.
And then show you.
Yeah. Like
It can be tough.
Like there have been times where like people would ask like, we want you to write it out and like show like tell us what you're gonna say and what you're gonna do, and I'll write it out. But then like on the bottom of the email, I'm like, listen, this probably looks really underwhelming, like from like just the writing, but I promise you, just trust me, and then I'll send you the video, and I think you're gonna be happy with it, because it's hard to write it out sometimes. You can't really explain it.
Some of the best ideas come without planning.
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
absolutely.
What do you feel what's the end goal for you?
I don't know yet.
Still evolving.
I feel like I've only really gotten to enjoy this for 2 months. Like I really feel like I'm waking up every day just so incredibly blessed and happy to be able to do what I'm doing. And I really just want to soak this up for a little bit, because I really haven't had the chance to fully do it. Because I started this when I was in school. I was in school for the past 2 years. Like, it's been 2 months out. Have I written down plans for the future? Yeah, for sure. But the end goal, I'm not 100% certain yet. And like, that was a hard thing to accept in the beginning, because I felt like I needed to have an end goal. But you know what? I'm 21 years old. I just graduated college, have this incredibly amazing opportunity in front of me. I'm just gonna enjoy it for right now, and not really worry about the end goal too much, you know. But I once I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Because I
You don't
know.
mind.
Yeah.
Maybe like an Instagram DM.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a DM,
Yeah.
or I'll mail you a letter.
Actually, on DMs, I've been
Yeah.
curious about this. So Pete,
That was a great segue.
Pete and I.
Great
Yeah,
idea.
that was unplanned. By the way.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Thank you. First podcast. And this, I've been curious about this. So Pete and I have access to the Rhoback Instagram, along with a couple of others, and we get a bunch of DMs on
Yeah.
a regular basis. And how do you handle kind of building that community, and do you get back to every DM? Do you pick and choose? Do you just ignore them?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Great question. I used to struggle with this like you couldn't believe. I mean, like that's
imagine, though.
that's where
can't imagine. I literally cannot imagine.
That's where being
I'm trying.
a genuine, like that's where like not being planned and it just falling into your lap gets you into trouble, because you want to please everybody. And like when it first started happening, I would literally sit there, and it got to the point where it was taking up my whole day. Like I literally was just getting back to everybody. And I reached out to a mentor of mine, Nick Bear. Shout out Nick. Congratulations on the baby.
What's up, Nick?
And I was
Shout out,
like,
Nick.
dude, like, do you respond to every DM? Because he's built an insane community. And he was like, I don't even look at my DMs. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I used to. And it took too much time. And time is the most valuable asset that we have. And I'm not going to use my time to respond to DMs when I could spend that time with my wife and with the business. And I was like, And I was like, so how do you not feel guilty? And he was like, my content. I was like, your content? And he was like, yeah, I feel like my content is my way of showing my gratitude and responding to my followers. And I was like, that's a freaking great way to put it. So ever since that conversation, that's how it's been. Like, you refresh and it's just like, they just show up. I'll look at them for sure. I don't respond.
Did you ever at any point like consider hiring like your own like social manager or somebody to speak for you?
No, because I'm a cute. Like I said, I love to work, so I wanted to learn how to talk to people. I wanted to learn how to respond to emails. I wanted to learn how to negotiate. I wanted to learn how to read people. Like, I wanted to learn all those skills, and I felt like if I had hired somebody to do it for me, it was going to limit me in future endeavors. And I'm so happy that I haven't hired anybody, because I feel like I just wouldn't be as well versed. My best friend, Perry, shout out Perry.
What's up, Perry?
Does, though, help
Love
me
you,
out
Perry.
a lot with social media, like, for sure. And this is another hard thing to accept with someone who likes to work. Like, I loved wearing every hat in the book, but, like, when you wear every hat, you can't also be creative. Like, that suppresses your creativity. So I'd rather give some work to some other people and pay them good for it, and this way I could focus at what I'm good at. Hard concept for me to, like, grasp, but
No, that's good. And I think too that gets something as like somebody who, like, when I first started, it was still like the traditional world of media.
yeah.
And people very much use specialized. And
Yeah.
then as social grew, it became the jack of all trades. Like, really, like, that became such
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge thing. I just think that's a big thing for like any young creators who might be listening to this, just to like hear that and understand. Like, you don't have to be good at everything. You don't have to do everything.
Oh, 100%.
And if you kind of shape your path to find the things
Absolutely.
that you love to do, you'll become very good at that.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. You don't need to do it all.
Absolutely. I am a huge, and the reason I am this way now is because I never used to be this way, and this whole process has turned me into such a student. The ego is non-existent. You cannot, especially in the content space, I feel like with most things, like, your ego cannot be existent, because if you have an ego, that's as high as your ceiling gets. Like, if you are too good to learn something new, too good to ask a question, too good to take advice from some dude who's got 2,000 followers and you got 500,000, then you're capping yourself, dude. Because as soon as you get caught up in that, that's it. You stop growing. There's a couple books about that. I haven't read them, but, like, when I see them,
They exist.
when I've seen one, I think it's called "Ego is the Enemy." I want to read that book because I feel like it's relevant.
Check your ego. Check your ego at the door.
It's like swallowing, like, a fat pill. That's it, like leaving your ego at the door. Like, you don't want to do it, but you have to do it.
Nick, tell us about. You're obviously very funny, but very active. Tell us about how activity plays such a big role in your life.
I would say being active, and I'm not even bullshitting.
You don't even BS us.
I'm not even gonna BS you.
How many swears is that?
Not a lot.
it's
Not
not
a
He
lot.
just said one though within 2 minutes, so that's why I had to say that.
Look,
Four.
Lucia
We
got
got
four.
four. We got four on the counter.
I love
We got
you.
4. But, like, but 2 of those were both within 2 minutes, so, like, that's double. So you actually have 8.
Right, 8, whatever.
Not that we're counting.
I'm not even BSing you. Activity is the number one most important thing in my life besides my family and my girlfriend, and here's why.
Why?
It is the most consistent thing. It'll never go away. It'll never leave you. When all else hits the fan, notice how I didn't use a curse word there. When all else hits the fan, activity is still an option. It's the one thing you can control. If you're having a bad day, go for a run, lift weights. If you got a headache, go for a walk. Throw a baseball around. Do something. It's the best medicine for everything, and is the most consistent medicine that you have control over, that you have the option to choose if you want to do or not. And it teaches you, it not only does it keep you healthy, but it teaches you real life skills. Like, it teaches you how to be a better person. It teaches you how to deal with failure. It teaches you how to deal with tough times. I'm the biggest advocate on earth, besides you guys who have built a brand around the slogan Crave Activity, for getting active, getting after it, and getting your heart rate up. There's nothing better for you in this world.
I love that. I mean, that's spot on. Leads to, like, that's the, I think, a much better explanation of it leads to a better quality of life.
It's
like,
literally, you will literally feel superhuman. Like, I whatever happens in life, right? Like, everything you love gets stripped away from you. You can still pick up a weight, and you could still feel accomplished after 45 minutes of doing something hard. And that little rush that you get afterwards sometimes is the difference between a lot up here. Yeah. And I could not be a bigger advocate for it. It doesn't have to be anything crazy either. Just go out for a walk. Just go, like, I don't know, do something. Leave the house. Get off the couch, you know?
I think that's a big thing, too, is it's like it doesn't always have to be, you know, like sport related or.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like just like I say, like
double
this
cheeseburger.
giant garden that you guys got going on over
Yeah,
here. Like something that's, you know, simple as just
go out in the garden. Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, go cook 2 double cheeseburgers and eat them both.
And eat them both with
Nick
fries
did that today.
and wings.
He had fries and wings too.
Not like I did that
and
today.
then not throw up on the soccer field.
Yeah. No,
but seriously, like, go do something.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
And
I'm so happy you brought that up, because when I was a personal trainer, I get people who literally come to me and be like, I want to look like Michael B. Jordan. I'm like, all right, well,
Who doesn't?
right. I do too, man. I want to look like him
I don't
too.
know. Sometimes
Absolutely.
I respect my barrel.
So, yeah, I'm gonna do 2 hours of cardio. I'm gonna lift weights. I'm gonna eat chicken and rice. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, I am, bro. Like, I promise.
For one
Okay,
day.
maybe you do that for a week.
Yeah.
Week 2, you ain't doing that.
Yeah.
It's impossible. The brain don't work like that. How about you eat chicken and rice 5 times a week first? See if you could do that. If you could do that for an extended period of time, then maybe do 7 or 8. Do a little bit extra cardio. You got to do it in steps. Like, you can't just balls to the wall. It's not sustainable. The best form of fitness is the one that you're going to keep doing. That's it. The best diet is the one that you're going to stick to. The best diet is the food you like to eat. Like, it's not about here to here. It's like little consistent steps. Consistently good over occasionally great.
I love that.
I like that one.
I'm consistently
Like that?
good.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up.
That's a sign.
Occasionally great.
I didn't make that up. Jeff Cunningham.
Oh.
Shout out, Jeff.
All right, Jeff. All right, final segment to wrap us up here.
All right. Staying in the cooking can be meat, but just in that realm.
Stay in the meat world.
All right.
The cooking world.
The
Cooking
top
world.
5, for the lack of a better word, things to use while cooking.
Instruments count.
Ingredients.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Ingredients just count.
Yeah, like that's something that you just
Utensils.
want to.
Utensils.
You would always have in your kitchen.
Salt, pepper. That's 1. Don't tell me it's 2.
I don't know. Oh, wait, actually, no, that's fair.
You can get it as one.
No,
Salt,
that's
pepper is 1.
Only because I have something similar, so.
Minced garlic and a hot pan.
What kind of pan? No judgment.
I don't want to say cast iron skillet because it's not diverse.
Thank God I would have judged you so hard if you said that.
I'd say a steel pan.
All right, judgment free.
Butter.
What are you going to cook with?
Fuck are you talking about?
Well, don't steer the witness here, Will.
Well, I'm trying to
Let the man-
You know,
let the
I'm
man
trying to
get
get
out his
let
fifth
the
one.
man eat.
Tongs.
Tongs.
Yeah. Tongs, steel pan, butter, minced garlic, salt and pepper.
Okay.
You can't tell me you can't make something good with that.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
Will?
You want me to go?
I'll go. I have a feeling yours are going to be a little better. I am going cast iron pan.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Cast iron
man,
skillet.
judgment's made.
I knew it.
Yep.
I feel it.
Go
I
on
feel
skillet.
the judgment.
Also, salt and pepper,
Attaboy.
butter,
Yep.
a good chef knife, a
Ooh.
good sharp,
I'm such a moron.
good sharp knife,
I'm so stupid.
No, you're
and
not. Don't say that.
you're not stupid.
You're right.
It's all right.
Only sometimes.
My fifth is a good wooden spoon.
Whoa, Pete.
Good wooden spoon.
Okay.
And like the kind
Someone
that's
likes
like.
to make
So this
mac
is
and
actually, I
cheese.
think my wife would be proud of me for this one because she's the one that brought that into my life.
The wooden
many
spoon.
years ago. Yeah. But it's got to be like, it can't look new. It's got to look
Oh, yeah.
discolored.
It needs
It's
some
got to look
character.
used. Like it's got to
Absolutely.
look like there's years of flavor like baked into that. wood.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
That's a great list.
I like that. What kind of mac and cheese do you prefer to make with your wooden spoon?
Well, that was a weird question.
Well, you typically
What
make
kind?
mac and cheese.
That was a weird
you
question.
typically make mac and
Dude,
cheese.
that question was so weird.
with a wooden spoon.
I don't get crazy mac. I just go straight craft. I don't get crazy with mac and cheese.
Okay. Good to know. All right, I'll go my 5. First one, spatula. It's the most versatile cooking utensil there is. I can make that. I can use that.
Yeah. Expand.
I use that for pasta. I can use that for chicken.
You're using a spatula for
you
pasta?
Can? You can?
For what?
No. You
For
can.
what?
You,
No,
you
for
can,
what?
but
No,
you
what are you
shouldn't.
using a spatula
What do you
for
mean?
pasta?
What do you mean?
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I'm being practical here. I only have 3. Now I
You
have
got 5.
But still, I only need 1. I can use that for anything I make.
If you use a spatula
It doesn't make sense to have a
make
spatula
pasta,
and
I'm
a
leaving
wooden
the
spoon.
house. Like I'm not.
It doesn't
eating
make
that dinner.
sense to have both in my top 5. Therefore, the spatula is versatile. It can scoop a chicken and it can make pasta.
Will's from Chicago.
How the fuck are you gonna make pasta with a spatula?
You just stir it around like a spoon. It's just a bigger spoon.
No, it's not. A spatula is flat.
Yeah, but it does the
He
same
can cut
thing.
with the spatula.
No, there's definitely
I
more
get it.
uses.
Okay, I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. I get it.
But one of them is not
I
making
get it.
pasta.
Number 1 on my list.
No.
Stand by that.
Not accepting
Number
that.
2, tinfoil.
That's
never
a great one.
never
That's
have to
that's
clean.
a good one. I like that one.
You put anything on tinfoil, you don't have to clean.
Shout out NASA.
Yeah.
Facts.
Number 3, meat thermometer.
That was the stupidest shit I've ever heard. That was the stupidest thing.
Not all of us are good at squeeze jobs, so I need to know. I need to know how hot my meat is
That
inside.
was yeah, but even so.
Well, maybe you should get one because you keep drying out your
yeah,
brisket.
you're right.
So
He's right. No, he's right.
So all right. So follow up to that. Yeah. Is that,
You
is
haven't.
that-
Your food is bland at this point.
Is that because you don't want
Wait.
to overcook or undercook?
Oh, I don't want to overcook.
Okay.
But do you really need a meat thermometer
Are
Yeah,
you
I
using
don't
a meat
ha-
thermometer and all those things when
in
you
a
cook?
fish?
Well, sometimes if I'm
Just
cooking
eat
for
the fish.
others,
Just asking.
Just eat the fish. It's a little overcooked. So what? You fucked
Then
up.
it's dry. Yeah, you'll still eat it, but
Let's make a sauce.
Yeah, I could. I don't know.
All right,
I
next
stand by meat thermometer. Number 4, a grill. I think you can use a grill for almost
You were
anything.
so proud of that one too.
Oh yeah.
Can we
you
get a
could cook.
replay of his face when he said grill? Oh my!
You could cook
a
your
grill.
eggs. You could cook your eggs on a grill.
Yeah.
You could cook your bacon on a
Wait,
grill.
But what what kind of grill are you cooking eggs? Like you talking like a
Yeah.
Blackstone or like a gas grill? Like because if you're using
Now
if
you're
you're
asking
using
real questions, Pete. You know what?
if you're using a regular grill, like, you're
For
gonna
the
need
sake of this,
yeah.
I'm going to say Blackstone.
Okay. Otherwise, like your eggs are gonna fall right through the grate.
Right.
Well, you get special grade. Got it all figured out. Clearly, have a lot of experience cooking. So, number 5.
See Will cooking eggs on a Traeger.
yeah. Yeah.
Can't get it up.
Yeah. Use your
Mom, it keeps falling through.
I got the meat thermometer in it, but it's not working.
in the egg.
I put my eggs on tinfoil. Done.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
solid save.
Thank you.
Solid save.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience cooking, like I said. Number 5, garlic salt.
Okay. Another proud answer. I don't know. Garlic salt.
I love garlic salt. I'll
Yep.
put that in anything.
Yep.
Literally anything.
Okay.
Put it on my meat thermometer before I stick it in the meat.
Do you put that on?
No, but I should. I just thought of that, so I might try it next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then number 5.
That was my,
That was
That was 5.
Yeah.
Garlic salt.
That's what he. That's what he was.
That's what I was saving.
That was
saving for last.
and the last one, but the best one.
Garlic salt.
Garlic salt.
Yeah. Tried it. You did salt and pepper and minced garlic, so you
Yeah,
wasted
but I
that.
feel like, the garlic you could take with the butter, and you could caramelize the garlic, minced garlic.
Yeah, see, that's
That's
above
too-
my head.
right.
Cooking, yeah.
Right.
Just stick to the salt.
Just stick to the grill and the meat thermometer and the salted garlic.
Yep. I'll cook for you.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Fucking A. Hopefully I don't have a blood pressure appointment. Oh, wow.
Good save, Ben. For those who can't see, the camera almost went.
Holy smokes.
Ben was thinking
Good
about
save,
garlic
Ben. Ben, just
salt.
keep your hand on there for a minute. We're almost done, anyways. Nice.
Great.
Great. Solid
Solid
segment.
pod.
Yep.
Behind the ridge.
Behind the ridge.
Well, Nikki, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Extremely honored to be the first guest, and extremely honored to be repping the Rhoback on the course and everywhere else. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Extremely honored to be on your team, Nikki.
Yes.
Stop it. Love yous.
Love yous.
Love yous.
Can we get one big love yous?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Love yous.
Now I'ma say this one time, boy, and that's my word. We rock the shot, the knock fire.